Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Truth from the Booth. I'm your host, DJ Prophet. This is episode 12. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, subscribe all day, every day, who has liked the videos, who's taken the time to support their favorite DJ, or learned about a DJ they didn't know about. And today is no different. I have a very special guest in the house today, all the way from Sacramento, California, now residing in the IE in Temecula, California, near me. He is a young radio DJ legend. He is taking over Temecula one event at a time. He is none other than my pal, my bud, my friend, DJ Anthony Vincent. Welcome to Truth from the Booth, my man.
Dude, thank you for having me. I appreciate that intro. That was dope. Thank you, man.
Of course,
Thank
of
you.
course. Thank you for being here. We've been talking about getting you on here for a long time. We are pretty much neighbors, and we could have done this live in person, but
hmm
I'm just trying to keep the format going with the global appeal. You could be anywhere,
Yeah, I think I
anytime.
can throw a rock at your house from right here.
Right, exactly. Don't talk too loud. You're going to bleed into my speakers. But man, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I'm very grateful.
Thank you for having me, man.
We met about 2 years ago, I think, when you got here. I believe our origin story begins with, I think you reached out to me through a networking event that you met somebody at and were like, hey, you need to get in touch with this guy, right?
Yeah. So I was at a networking event here. One of the first times I ever stepped outside in this town. And through a mutual friend, Cassie, shout out to Cassie, she's like, you gotta hit up DJ Prophet. He's the man out here. And I think that night I DM'd you, and a couple days later you were playing at a local spot down the street. And I was like, I'm coming through. And you're like, come through. And then since then, we just been like this, man.
Yeah, man. No, I know that, through our conversations and through time and meeting your family and all that has been amazing.
Mhm.
But we have very similar soul stories as far as, our experience in this music game and growing up in general in this day and age, and on this DJ journey. So first and
Mhm.
foremost, I wanted to let the people know about your origin story. Like, where did you fall in love with music? When did you decide that DJing was it? Who put you on? Some of your inspirations, mentors, and some of that story of where DJ Anthony Vincent originated.
Well, the music thing, it's just, I don't even know, man. That's just from when my first memories is like me and like my family around music, whether that's like my grandparents and I'm Native American on my mom's side, and I was really involved with the powwow scene. I was a dancer, I was a singer growing up. So music through culture has always been a big part of me since I could possibly remember. And so community gatherings, people being together, music bringing people together, that's always been a part of me. And as I got older, obviously I wanted to be my own person. And I remember getting my first boombox when I was like, I don't know, maybe like fifth grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, somewhere around there. And I grew up in Palm Springs down the road. Well, I think it was U92.7 when I was like in high school, but I think before that it was like 100.5 or something like that. It was like the big radio station, and that's all I listened to. And I was that kid like recording my tapes over like all the hot songs that were going on at the time and playing them back for myself. And that's kind of what started it. So me at a young age recording music for myself. And then let's fast forward like till like when I'm like 11, 12 years old, when like LimeWire and Napster started coming out, I was recording or just downloading illegally everything. Like every single song that would ever come out, I would try to find it. I would download it. And I had like a book full of CDs of everything. And then around the age where people start partying, right? When you're like in sixth, seventh grade. And so I had the catalog and I had my boombox still. So I would just play my CDs, my mixes, like just random songs. I wasn't DJing or anything, but I'd play my music at the parties, and I just became known as that guy that had the music. Fast forward to about sophomore year in high school. That's kind of the last. So I played sports. I played basketball. I played football. Middle school, halfway through high school, and that was always my thing. Like my main thing, my main love was sports. But like end of sophomore year, probably that summer, my buddy I played football with, shout out to Daryl. Everybody called him Debo. His uncle was on the radio on 92.7 out in Palm Springs, and we were at his apartment one day, and he had his deck set up, and I was just like drawn to it. I was like, "How does this work?" Like, and he showed me. It's like you put the needle on the record, you push play, and you go, and then like this is how you control it. Obviously, everybody wants to scratch. Like the first time they see a turntable on a record, they're like, just so want to go like this all day long. So I started doing that, and then he taught me the concept of BPMs. And dude, that just clicked in my head, bro. Like instantly clicked in my head. And I was like, okay, so like there's counts, like there's timing. Every song has a beat to it that's like a rhythm. I didn't really get into DJing at that moment, but when I went home on my computer, I downloaded a software that allowed you to manipulate, I think it was called like Acid or something like that, allowed you to manipulate the BPMs of songs. And so that's when I made my first like mixtape. So I got all the songs are around, I think they were like 95, 98, 100 BPMs, and I was able to set them all to like 100 BPMs, and I actually mixed them. Dude, I wish I still had that CD, but I was able to like mix them. I don't even remember if I mixed them in the right spots or like they weren't like DJ versions or anything, but I remember it being like, oh, this sounds sick. So I started making mixtapes like that and like giving them out at school. That turned into like, I want to actually DJ. And so I remember it was like my 16th birthday, 17th birthday. Shout out to my mom. She bought me the DJ in a box kit. It was like a little Newmark mixer, 2-channel mixer, 2 plastic Newmark turntables,
Yeah.
and DJ Michael Wright, who was my friend's uncle that kind of showed me the ropes a little bit with it. He was on radio, so he had a bunch of promo vinyl that he just gave me. So I had a bunch of stuff that I was just like, I'm just gonna practice with this. I had maybe like 10 records. And I would just mix them all day, all day, all day. Is trying to get it, trying to learn the pitch, trying to learn scratching. I was like, how come I can't scratch on this? And I found out you can't scratch on crappy stuff. Like it just doesn't sound good. And so I was like, why are these guys so good? I was getting like DVDs and like there was way before YouTube. So I was watching like DVDs of guys scratching. And I'm like trying to do it at home. Like there's no way I could do this. Like, why isn't it working? But I got really, really good at mixing and I made a little mix demo. I recorded it. I don't even remember how I recorded. I think I recorded it straight into the computer and then just burned a CD and I gave it to mom to give to a DJ she knew that she worked with. His what was his real name? Gerald. He went by DJ G Walk. He was also on U92.7. And as soon as he heard it, he's like, how long has he been playing? My mom's like, I just got him this in February for his birthday. And it might have been like summertime. And he's like, he's really good. He's already really, really, really good. And then he ended up giving me a gig at the Boys and Girls Club in Indio. It was like a back to school gig, high school kid. So like around my age, I did it with my buddy Daryl, and then my mom ended up coming, and that was the first time she ever saw me DJ. And she was like, "You can even ask her this story." She's like, "I've never seen kids go that crazy before in my life." It just came so naturally to me. Like it was never like hard work to feel the energy of music and like know when to play and to like know how to set yourself up. I don't even know how I knew that. I was never really taught that.
Oh,
It just kind
yeah.
of came like
No,
naturally.
no, yes, yes, you were. You were those drum rhythms and that spiritual experience through the native powwow scene built
You're
you
actually you're right. You're right.
built
You're
you
right.
for that. To see
Yeah.
the way that the music builds people up and takes people up and down. I mean, that's exactly what music is supposed to do, and it's in your blood,
Hmm.
in your ancestry. Like, come
Yeah.
on,
No, it
bro.
is. It is. No, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I never thought about it like that. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
mean,
You're definitely right.
you were built for this, and I know exactly what your mom is saying because you have built, music, you know how to, you've seen the way it affects people from a young age, and you're the same age as these kids, so you know exactly what programming and how to take them up
Hmm.
with the
Hmm.
exact songs at the exact right time.
Yeah, yeah. Because even the request thing, right? The request has been it's always a topic with DJs. And I remember getting requests that day, and I was already rejecting people. I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I was like,
Yeah,
"Wait,
don't fuck
wait,
up
wait,
my
wait, wait."
flow. I got
Yeah, like,
this.
"No, no, no." And my mom was like, "Why aren't you gonna play this?" I'm like, "I'm going to," but they just not yet, not yet. And I don't
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
I don't know where that came from in that moment because I was not ready. Like I was super young. I was not ready to even have that kind of like knowledge yet. But no, like I did somehow, and dude, I killed that party. And from then on, I was like, "This is what I want to do forever." Like it was such a high feeling that you don't get from anything else.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm still here doing it.
it's hard to explain. Oh, it's so funny because that's how we originally connected about was through your story. I mean, mine was just, 15 years earlier. You were on
Hmm.
DVDs, I was watching VHS. Me, like you were on
Yeah, yeah,
LimeWire,
yeah.
I was collecting tapes, like trying to blend on tapes. I was recording off the radio mixes to try and get those records that I heard matched together so I can copy the radio DJs
Mhm,
and,
mhm.
and figure that mixing out. But that I love that because there's such a progression of it, right? And you started with the powwow scene and the music culturally, and then moved into your own taste and brought it to the masses of your era and your school. And that is
Mhm.
like the perfect growth for a DJ. I find like a lot of the DJs today is like we used to call them microwave DJs, where you just get the setup by the laptop and you're out there in the streets,
Yep, and that's what
without
it's like a lot
collection,
nowadays.
without knowing the music, without knowing the history and the culture. And I think that's what separates greatness from mediocrity
Yeah.
in this scene. And talk to me about your break into radio then. So this is at a young age. I mean, this is what, 12 years, 13?
Oh, when I first got my turntables, I was like 16, but I was like doing parties,
Yeah, yeah,
early
16.
middle
And
school
then
years.
what,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and what age did the how did the radio
So the radio thing, so I got to go back a little bit. So while I'm still in high school, again, DJ Michael Wright was taking me to the club. Like, I'm not supposed to be in the club, bro. I'm a teenager. I'm a kid, but I'm going. I'm having a good time. I'm there picking his records for him. Like he doesn't have to do anything. He's just like, I want this record. Okay. I'm setting it up. He's like, I want this record after that. Boom. I'm setting them up on the crate. You got to put them up a
you're
little bit
so
so you can
so
see the
lucky.
labels. And then I was just like, here's a record. He gave me the old one. I put it back, put it in the sleeve, boom, put it back in the crate. And he had him lined up behind him. I remember the way he had the setup. It was lined up behind him. There's a big mirror. The crowd was that way. I mean, he was always facing that way towards the crowd, and I'm facing this way towards the mirror and the records, and I'm just keep handing them. And like the 12 inches, you have to have two, so it's like constantly like here, 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 here. Maybe that's kind of where I learned how to build some stuff up. But anyway, I started out like that, and then he would let me play sometimes. Like whenever he wanted to take a break, like I got to mix for a club crowd, hundreds of people. And that's kind of where I remember the first time I put a needle on the record in front of people, dude, my hand was shaking like this. Dude.
I know.
Like I was like, oh my
Like
God, I'm gonna mess
I
up.
was just gonna say the trembles are so
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I didn't want to mess up, and I did really, really good, and he was very, very proud in that moment. I remember, and so from that like high school experience, from like junior year, senior year, and the end of my senior year, I don't know where this came from, but I knew I wanted to be a radio DJ. Like I already felt it, and I remember my chemistry teacher. I'm pretty sure I've told you this story before. My chemistry teacher, before she signed my paperwork to go get my diploma and sign me off to graduate, she's like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, I want to be a radio DJ. I want to be a DJ." And she looked at me so crazy. I don't remember her name, but I remember she was my chemistry teacher and she was from like Romania. But I wish I could remember her name or like where she is now so I could be like, "Hey, look what I did." Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, I was 18. I think, yeah, I was 18 when I graduated. So I was 18. The next year, end of the next year, I ended up moving to Sacramento. And I remember like one of the first nights I was in Sac, me and my girlfriend at the time, I was driving around in my car and she was in the passenger seat and we pulled up to my house. And on the radio, they were like, "We're looking for interns." It was late. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Like, "We're looking for interns. Call in right now if you want to be an intern for the radio station here. We want you to do street team, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, and she was like, "You should do this." And I was like, "Really? You think so?" She's like, "Yeah, you should do it." She called on air, whoever was on air at that time. I don't even know who was on air at that point. Called them, got the information for me. Next day I called them. I think that semester in high school or that semester in college, I was going to Sac City out in Sacramento. I might have been like, I think it was like fall semester. I went to the station, did the interview, and I got hired on as an intern. As soon as I got hired on as an intern, maybe no, it was an interview. I remember, shout out to Angelique. She interviewed me and she told me who the PD was. She was like, "The PD here, the program director here, her name is Patty Moreno." And I was like, "Patty Moreno." Going back to Palm Springs, Patty Moreno was the PD at U92.7 here, uh, or not here, but in SoCal in Palm Springs. And Michael Wright worked for her. And one of the club gigs I went to was actually U92.7 event. It was a Trick Daddy concert, and I'm not supposed to be there. She sees me, cusses me out, yells at me, and tells me to get the fuck out of the club. Because obviously, a station event, like, there, you know how it
Strong,
is,
yeah.
dude. You know
Yeah.
how it is
Yep.
working for a station event and like stuff like that with artists and people. Like the liability is crazy. So like, get the fuck out of here, blah. She's yelling at me, and so I'm like trying to put two and two together as Angelique's telling me this during the interview. And I'm like, did she work in Palm Springs? And she's like, yeah, how did you know that? I was like, oh, well, that's where I just moved from. Fast forward after that semester or that first internship, like towards the end of it, I actually get to meet Patty and like cross paths with her and have an interview with her. And I told her that story and she remembered me. I didn't have to do another internship. I got hired on right then and there. I got hired
Nice.
on as street team. And during that time, I guess it would be next semester, but I'm actually hired on as a street team member. I'm just telling her and all the on-air DJs, like, hey, I want to DJ. I want to DJ. I want to DJ. And of course, like, dude, being young, like everybody there's way older than me. They're just kind of blowing me off, like, oh, you can't DJ, blah, 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 blah. Finally, I just go in the mix studio. Nobody's in there and I'm just playing. And they're like, oh, he could actually DJ. Let's give him a shot. So they give me a shot last hour on a Saturday night of a mix show weekend. I play. I do pretty good. Obviously, I was nervous first time being on radio. I was super nervous. I do pretty good. The mix show coordinator at the time, DJ Blend, he was like, we'll put you on, but you're just gonna do this every once in a while. I was like, it's all I need. That's fine. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I think maybe about couple months later, and I'm actually starting to not like this time slot I'm on. I'm not going to talk shit about anybody, but it wasn't the greatest time slot with the greatest on-air personality. And you know, if you're a mix show DJ, like you need to be on the same page all the time.
Yep.
And sometimes they weren't in the studio when they were supposed to be. They were outside doing other stuff. And I'm like, dude, we got to go to commercial. Like, you got a talk break. Where the hell
Yep.
are you?
Or
Anyway,
pre-record. Come on now.
back then there was no pre-recorded mixes back then.
No, I mean the
Or like
host
Vox
would
Pro
pre-record the
and then like
spots.
play. Yeah. But we were in two different rooms here. Like
Yeah.
that was cool about this studio. A lot of studios now, it's like they're in the same room. This was two separate rooms. So
There's
I'd
been a
have to
lot of
run out and
there's
go
been
to
a
the other side
there's
and
been a
like have
lot
to
of
push play.
downgrades in radio lately.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, one morning I get a call and it's like, dude, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm like barely I'm not awake at this fucking time. Hell no, never. And I'm getting a call, my phone's blowing up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I look at it and it's Famous. Famous was he was doing the morning show. He was a co-host on the morning show at the time. And I was like, why is Famous calling me right now? And we did Street Team together too before he was on the morning show. And I was like, whatever. So I answered. I was like, what up, dude? And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sleeping. And he's like, can you be here right now? I was like, why? And he's like, Blend lost his cat. He's not going to come in and do the morning show. He's not going to mix the morning show. And we don't have any mixers here at the city. Obviously, it's super early in the morning. No DJs up, right? Like, it's just not going to happen. And I'm just like, my backpack was literally right next to my bed, already packed to go. And I'm like, I'll be there right now. I grab my bag, put it on my shoulder. I don't shower, wash my face, brush my teeth, nothing. It's radio, bro. Like nobody's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
look at you. Who
exactly.
cares? So I grab my shit and I go. I'm like 10 minutes from the station. I get there. They're already supposed to be in mix show. I think it was like a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I don't remember the time slot. But I feel like it was already kind of into that hour. And then I'm like, where's my list? Like, what am I supposed to play right now? And they're like, just play. And I'm like, don't tell me that. I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, just play. I was like, all right, give me like 5 minutes. I set up my Serato, my computer, put my records on, come back from, I don't know if there was like songs playing, if it was coming back from commercial or whatever. And I just play, dude. And the regular morning show guy, he went by Davey D. He was actually out on vacation. And the night guy was filling in for him, Benny. And he heard me play. And right after that mix, he comes up to me and he's like, I want you to do the night show. He's like, you're killing it. Like I mean, I shout out to everybody on 135 back then. You guys are awesome mixers or whatever. But he was like, you're the best guy we have. And I'm like, thanks, dude. Like, I don't have like that many opportunities here. I'm still brand new here. He's like, no, you're on. Like, I've been looking for a new mix show DJ. I was going to bring in a guy from San Diego because that's where he came from. I'm like, I don't, he's like, I'm not going to. He's like, you're the guy. Uh, Goes to Patty, tells Patty that. Patty's like, we can't just do that. We have to make it fair, right? So let's give everybody a shot to try out for the 9 o'clock mix show. That week,
Freaks is in.
dude, it didn't
Come on,
even matter,
crap. We
bro.
already got our guy.
It didn't even matter. Benny comes up to me and was like, Patty wants to do this trial thing, blah, blah, blah. He's like, don't even worry about it. After this week, you'll be on.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And I was on Monday through Thursday on the night show. And then I did hour every Friday and Saturday. And then I ended up doing an overnight show from like midnight to 3. Well, it was just me. And that happened so fast, dude. And it looking back now, I was like, damn, that's crazy accomplishment to have, especially at like 19, 20 years old, to like 21, 22. But at the moment, I was like, this is just supposed to be what it's supposed to be. Like I didn't really, it wasn't like, I don't know, how do you say it? Like it didn't feel like an accomplishment in the moment. It was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Well, that's part of being on a clear pathway of your vision.
Hmm.
It's not a surprise when you get there, but it's just like, okay, this is part of the process. This is what I was talking about. Like, like the belief, the self-belief, and when you see it in your mind and create it in reality with your hands, um,
Hmm.
it just kind of like it is what it's supposed to be. But then in the moment, right? But then when you go back and tell the story, you can reflect on it and have a greater depth of how big of a deal it actually was because you're outside of it looking back, and
Yeah.
you see the struggle of people now, how hard it is to get in the game, but like
Hmm.
even at this age, people are still trying to get into radio
Dude, there
and
was people interning for years, bro, and I did it for 1 semester. There was people waiting in line to get that spot for years, and I jumped that line. I made a lot of enemies at the station in SAC
well, that's what
just
I was gonna
because I
say is
did
radio.
that,
Yeah,
and
radio is
it
a
sucks.
yeah, because people are radio is a passion project, right?
Mhm,
People that are in radio actually most the people that are successful in radio love radio because
mhm,
it's a different animal. It's not an in your face reciprocation of love. You just pour your love out and hopefully it comes back, right?
yeah,
On air hosts and DJing, like you're not getting a direct view of the people you're affecting, but the broadband
no,
is so big that it's a lot of pressure, and you have to be willing to put yourself out there. The best ones put themselves out there completely and are successful for a long time at it.
mhm.
There's great radio personalities. I mean, I have a passion for radio. That's how I have this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, I
You
would
have the voice for it. I wish I was better at, like, mic work. Like, I wish I could have, like, a voice like you that was that strong and that, like I don't know, people seem to connect with your voice a lot more than most, and I'm a little envious of that
don't be
when I see
yeah,
it.
be
'Cause
inspired.
I wanted to no, it's definitely, inspiring too, but I would see that, like, some of the guys that, like to shout out to Shorty, man. Shorty was, like, my big brother in radio, like, the way he can control a mic, like, I was
Yeah,
like, "Damn," like, I wanna be at that level one day, and I still struggle on my microphone work. I'm okay, but, like,
yeah.
when I have these guys that I look up to and I'm like, "Shoot, that's, like,
You know,
another world."
yeah, it's preparation. It's
Mhm,
mirror work. I have a lot of back work in like monologues and acting and auditioning and speech. I took speech in high school. I always knew I wanted to be a broadcaster. Before I even thought
mhm.
about being a DJ, I wanted to be on air and host news, red carpet interviews. Like I was born to host something, I feel like. So I've always had that like kind of thing. I mean, even in middle school, I was hosting the air bands. In high school,
Oh, yeah?
I used to host all the high school pep rallies
Uh-huh.
in high school and also acting class, which we have spoke before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were at lunch the other day. Some of that exposing your vulnerability, is and not caring what just giving and not caring what you're getting back, and I
Mhm.
think that's the kind of the comfort I have in my voice. My voice, when we talk the same, I don't put on a radio voice or put on a perception. It's just how I talk.
No, and that's why I feel like the best radio personalities or the best people on mic is they come across as themselves,
Yes,
and
and that
it's
just comes with
amazing.
yeah, and that's part of the mental and emotional thing of just letting go of what people perceive of you and just
Mhm.
speaking from the heart,
Mhm.
and that's part of radio, I think, is that passion for it is like being out in the streets, and you've seen it when the jocks show up, people go crazy like they're rock stars.
Yeah.
Like people listen to them all day at work. They feel like they're your best friend. They never met you in their life, but they know everything about you, and yeah, and
Mhm.
come up and tell
Yeah,
you your
yeah.
life stories.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I think that connection was my favorite part of radio, or like, "Oh, I heard your mix when I was on the freeway," and or you know what I'm saying, like that kind of feedback. What is it? Is it the same for you? What's your favorite part of being on the radio?
My favorite part of radio would actually be, like, being part of the culture of that city at that moment. Feeling like you're contributing to it when you're putting new artists on, and then they ended up becoming big. Like, to me, that was like, "Oh, damn, I did that." Like, I helped them in that journey. Like, I got to play that song. For the first time, I got to break it, or second time, or third time, or they came to the studio, or we went to a show, or we did a show together. I feel like that was something that I was like, "Damn," like, I was a part of that, and I feel like that was the biggest thing for me. As far as, like, listeners go, I don't really remember too many of those interactions. I mean, I was out on the street a lot still because I still did the street team stuff, but I don't know, that wasn't really too important to me. I don't know why at that time.
Yeah.
It was more about the music and the
Well,
culture and,
yeah,
like,
and
the
DJing,
city.
and it's a different communication,
Mhm. Mhm.
people love the music, and most DJs are introverts anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So the guys who turn to turntablists, and then
Mhm.
the hosts, we had Big Boy, and this is the biggest market in the nation. When I was on the street team, it was like Power 106 with Big Boy and Tito, and the Fantastic Four with the Beat Junkies, Mr. Chalk, and it was just, and LA is like super fanhood,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and celebrity is big here. So that's the experience I got off of it. And that's where I guess the community was, to see their reaction was I was being spoiled.
Mhm. No, and, like, not even just locally, but nationally having impact.
Yeah, yeah,
I was super, super lucky on at the time I was on every day, it was on 9 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and because I was at night, I got to break a lot of stuff, like, even national artists, and so I was always the 2nd DJ to play a new song by a new artist or by a big artist. The guy that would always beat me to it every single day, and it was because of the time slot he had in LA was Felly.
yeah.
His new at
There-
2 New at 2 every single day,
I was
and, like,
there.
he would break shit, and I was like, "I can't beat him because I can't go on air yet."
Yep, yep, yep.
So
I
I
was
was always the
there.
2nd guy to play, like, dude, I got to play, like, Neo stuff first, like, when he came out with the new stuff, like Rick Ross, and we got them for shows because we did that,
Yeah,
and it's
because you
not just
broke.
me, like, it was the team, like, the music director, Shorty was the music director at the time, and we would go through music and be like, "Oh, this shit's dope, like, let's play this tonight, let's play this tonight." So it's not all me, it was a team, but, like, I got to influence them, like, "Yeah, I'm playing that, that is sick."
Do you still? I love that part of radio too. Is that process of it, like seeing it come to life, and become the song it's going to be. Do you feel like with the lack of hits right now, that's still happening in radio? I feel like it's a lot of redundancy on some of these
Radio
things.
so I still got friends in the radio, all over the country. And what it seems like to me is like, as far as the music goes, it's usually like a streaming hit first. Radio is not breaking anything. Radio is not like pushing stuff forward. It might be used more for like promotional if like somebody's coming to town.
Yeah.
Then you kind of push it a little bit more. But as far as like the influence it used to have, it definitely doesn't have that anymore. That's all like TikTok and Instagram and just I don't know. It's different now.
Trends.
It's just different. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Trends. Yeah, yeah, for
It's like
sure.
it's just the waves that come in is it takes over, what the
Mhm.
people want. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier, the wrestling. If the people want it, we're gonna feed it to them. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
instant gratification era. And you're still on doing radio. I know you do a couple mix shows on. Is
Energy
it
102. Yep. Internet radio, out of the Bay Area. Shout out to Jason D for starting that, and my buddy Nano and Zach for helping me get on that. It's cool, man. It's
freedom?
getting a lot
There's
of
no
traction.
playlist, right? You play what you want.
Well, the station itself has its own format, right? But for the mix shows, it's like you're open to interpretation of that format and just play. And I love that because that's just what I do. I feel free and I mix shows. tend to do pretty well. The station's doing really well on its format. It's number one. I think there's like 15 or 16 radio stations on this radio format, and we've been number one since I've been a part of it for almost a year now.
Dope, dope.
So yeah, it's going good. I loved it and the opportunity, and people get to hear me all over, not even just like locally, but the country and the nation if they tune in.
Yeah, globally, I love that. That's the best
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
And the freedom, that's one of the drawbacks of me is like if I don't have freedom with what I want to do, I can't do it. We can
And
just
that's how I got fired from radio.
yeah, same here. Same here. Okay, that's a story for another time. So from radio to the streets, living out here in Temecula now. I know you came out here, you had some hip issues. I know you're out here for some
Mhm,
recovery.
mhm.
Your family is out here, so you came to get some of that support. Living here in Temecula, you got started a movement. Nightlife is thin here, as you
It
found
is.
out immediately, and support for what we do is hard to come by. Just as far as because nightlife isn't the main priority of people in this town. So what you did was started a day party and basically riding the trend or creating your own trend out here of the day life is the new
Mhm,
nightlife
mhm.
and started the coffee pop-up, Vibe and Thrive.
Vibe and Thrive, yeah.
Yes, and
So
talk
oh,
to
go
us
ahead, go
about
ahead.
that. Go ahead.
Okay, so a Vibe and Thrive started because I couldn't play out here. And even with my resume going around town, it didn't seem to impress anybody or it didn't really seem to make an impact, which was crazy to me. But
Why am I
like
laughing?
yeah, because you know what it's like. You know exactly what it's like. But I ended up having to create a space for myself. And I've never had to do that before. And in doing that, it made me grow a lot. What had happened was I was in LA for Halloween. I got to DJ at the Spire 73 at the Intercontinental. So I got to DJ in LA at Spire 73 for the Halloween party, the rooftop up there. Have you been up there? It's fucking sick. It's dope as
No.
fuck. But anyway, it's actually right down the street from where the falls was.
What
Uh,
is it? It's what's the hotel called? Indigo?
the no, the Intercontinental.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I have been
Yeah.
up there.
Anyway, the next day, my buddy Kennedy, he lives out there. He's like, dude, we got to go to this day party. And I'm like, cool, let's go. And he's like, well, it's at a coffee shop in Venice. And I'm like, a coffee shop? What the hell are we going to do at a coffee shop? And he's like, no, trust me, it's cool. I was like, all right, whatever, let's go. Me, him, and another buddy, we go and we get there. And dude, it is packed, dude, man. It is hundreds of people out here on this little tiny coffee shop in Venice on a corner.
What time?
10, we got there at 11 and started at 10 a.m. I ended at 2, and people were loving it, and I'm like, "Okay, I could see this, and I could be like, this is something that can work in Temecula. So there's nothing like this out there, and if I can do it in a way that it's, like, community-based and it's also, like, business networking in a way, because I jumped into that when I got here. I never really did that before. I did it maybe once or twice in SAC, but it was never really part of, like, me or my thing. But when I got here, I was like, "I need to meet people." And this is the only thing I know how to, like knew I could just meet random people by just going to business networking events. And so
Yeah.
I was like,
That's like
"Okay,
the
I'm
hot
gonna
thing
try
out
to."
here. That
It is. It
that's the
really
easiest
is.
thing to get people. That's the only thing actually that you can legitimately, consistently get people to pull up to.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So I was like, this is a way I can create something for myself, an opportunity for me to play, and also it be legit a community event for people and to help small businesses and to help just the community and the people involved. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Like I literally was just like one day I'm just gonna do it. And shout out to Intaza up the street right here for giving me that first opportunity because literally spammed every coffee shop and every business I thought I'd work at in the area, and they were the only ones to get back to me.
Out of
And I
how
would
many
say,
emails? Out of how many
dude,
emails?
hundreds, yeah, definitely hundreds, dude. Like from anywhere from like Lake Elsinore all the way to I don't know what's the next town over there, like Fallbrook area or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just like on
Escondido?
Yelp, just looking up everything, even out into Oceanside on Yelp, looking up and just sending DMs. I even made a video. If you go on the Vibe and Thrive Instagram, the very first video on there, the very first post is the video I would send to all these businesses, along with a paragraph of like what I was trying to do. And Taza was the only one, and they just happened to be like right around the corner. And I feel like the first one was pretty good. The second one was amazing. The third one was okay. And now we're moving it to Old Town Temecula, and it's going to be at Bailey's October 11th. It's official. It's happening.
Nice. We talked
And we're
about that.
doing it. Yeah, we did. And I just got the word yesterday. It's happening.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So it's going to be in a more centralized location. There's going to be a lot more foot traffic. Hopefully, we have a lot more vendors. I actually have a meeting about that later today.
And there'll be alcohol.
Yes, and there will be alcohol.
Is there gonna be coffee? Is there gonna be coffee?
So there will be coffee. Shout out to Vanessa. She's on the mission to try to find us a coffee vendor for that day.
Okay.
But yeah, there will be coffee. There will be drinks. There will be beats. There will be vendors. So the whole thing of Vibe and Thrive is like we're partying for a purpose. And at Intaza, it was to bring awareness to Intaza and to bring awareness to the vendors we had. Because I charged them a small fee. I wanted them all to make money. I didn't want it to be about me making money. I wanted it to be about everybody just like vibing and thriving together.
Yeah.
Also did a pop-up with Macy's. Didn't charge the vendors $1 because Macy's gave me money to pay out the DJs that played. I don't make any money off this at all. With Bailey's, they're donating their space. The vendors for this next one, I haven't told anybody this yet, except for you and a couple other people. But this next Vibe and Thrive is going to be
Well,
for the
that's more than
kids.
that's somebody.
Yeah, yeah, except for you. Not too many people know about this right now, but this next Vibe and Thrive is going to be for the kids, and we're going to do a toy drive, and we're going to take donations, and everything that the vendors donate to me for their let's call it a vendor fee or whatever, that's all going towards buying toys for the kids for Christmas, and then I'm gonna ask people that show up to bring a toy. I'm
Oh,
gonna ask the DJs that come play to donate and bring a toy too. I bring
beautiful.
whatever they can, and we'll just see what we can collect. And hopefully, I can do this 3 times. That's the goal: do it in October, November, and December. And just collect, and then hopefully give kids a good Christmas with this party.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I love partying with a purpose. I think that today's day and age needs more positive parties.
Hmm.
And, with the climate changing of nightlife, which we talked about being the new day life, and more health conscious younger generations are becoming more not only health conscious, but mentally health conscious, community conscious.
Hmm.
uh, being more, giving with charity conscious, and really just being more compassionate for our fellow human beings that aren't maybe, living as well as some of us. And
Hmm.
I think that is commendable, and it's easy to, it's worth supporting. And I'm proud of you for being able to pull that together, man, because, like we talked about, it's hard to get people to move around, you
It
know,
is.
and try different.
And even this, dude, being a good thing, it's been hard to get it off the ground, man. There's been a lot of unforeseen like roadblocks that just come up, and then for some reason, if it's not something I have to do, and it's like just pauses for like weeks or a month, and I'm just like, no, we need to get this going. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And it's like I'm not. I don't like working like that. I like to, if there's a roadblock, boom, let's get it done and let's keep moving. It's a slower pace out here.
Much
Not to
slower.
say that it's wrong, but it's just different from what I'm used to. And I'm very impatient, so like
Yeah,
I
I
like to
think
get
that
things done.
patience is a virtue. I think that most of the networking that you began out here with this event, can you now utilize a lot of those relationships that
Hmm.
you've watered and take, and so I see nothing but success coming for this. And you
Thank
just
you.
gotta give people deadlines though, like, I need this by this date, because
Hmm.
that's what I found with people, getting people to do things in a timely manner, is that you got to put a deadline on it. You can't just leave it up in the air, because they'll never get to it.
Yeah.
People need to have the calendar, the ding reminder on their phone to get stuff done. I think that's kind of how we're programmed now, and
Hmm.
that's the only way to stay top of mind on getting things done. Let's talk about your traveling a bit. You got Denver coming up. I know you rotate in
Yes.
Chicago. You're up and down to Sacramento. Talk to us about, the travel schedule, working out those gigs. You're also with the Music Trust, who kind of helps you out with getting
Hmm.
your foot in the door
Hmm.
of some of these places. Talk to us about your travel schedule and how you keep that up and moving, because a lot of kids, they dream of traveling. That's like, hey, I want to be at different spots, and
Yeah, dude.
talk about some of the
That's always been
things.
one of my goals, and I've never been able to actually do it. Being in Sac for so long, I was kind of stuck to that city with other businesses that I did. Shout out to Cookies and Milk.
Cookies and milk.
yeah, I was stuck, you know, not I wouldn't say stuck, but I was like I couldn't leave. Like I had to be in SAC for a long time. One of my dreams was to always like travel for and be a traveling DJ. And now I have a little more freedom and I can do that now. And with the Music Trust, they have venues all over the country. And if I want to be in a certain city and there's a place there for me to play, they give me the opportunity to play. So they had, you know, Sawyer Revival in Sacramento, and that was home to me for years. And then now that I'm here and I still travel up to Sac for work, I could always play there. So I just let them know, like, hey, I'm going to be in SAC such and such date, or I want to be out in SAC this week. You know, what's open for me, and it's usually a couple months in advance, and
That's
they'll
dope.
do that. Yeah, they'll do that for me in SAC. They did that for me in LA. That was the Intercontinental gig, and I go out to Denver in a couple weeks. They got a couple spots out there for me to play at, and they shot me some dates there. So I'm super excited for that. Chicago's where they're based out of, and they said if I ever make it out there, or when I come out there, they got stuff lined up for me there too.
You never played out there?
No, I've never been to Chicago yet. So I was planning on going to Chicago this year. I was gonna go to Denver, then go to Chicago, but plans changed. I got invited to hang out in Mexico City for Halloween. So I'm gonna do that instead.
Yeah, yeah, international is better than
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Chicago's
yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah, it
Chicago's great
will.
though. Great hospitality, Midwest welcome, music taste.
No, I
They
bet.
they
I
ride they
bet.
ride with you for they have appreciation for music connoisseurs.
Mhm. Mhm.
You mentioned, you had mentioned cookies and milk and cookies.
Cookies and milk.
Cookies and milk, that was your business that you had where you're basically
Sacktown.
you're a baker. You bake
Yeah.
delicious
Yeah.
cookies.
So while I was on radio at the same time I went to culinary school. Um, and I fell in love with baking there. I didn't see that happening, but when I did that section of school, I was like, for some reason, like it clicked with me, and it was way less stressful than working a line or like making stuff to order. Like I was like, you know what, I don't have the patience for that. Like it's too stressful. But baking, it's very like therapeutic.
Yeah.
So I just fell in love with it, and through DJing, I got to meet some really cool people that were trying to open up a business, and we got together and we made it happen. And then Cookies and Milk was alive for 10 years, and dude, it was going strong for a long time. But we all had to kind of do our own separate thing, and then I ended up having to move down here, and it couldn't survive without all of us being in SAC.
Yeah.
So we had to close our shop last year. I guess yeah, February 25th of last year. Or 2 years ago.
2
When
years.
did I come out here? So it had to be
2
like 2
years
years
ago.
ago then. Yeah,
2
yeah,
years
yeah. Two
ago.
la This last year's been crazy, dude. It's like,
Trust me,
I don't even
time
know
is
where
moving
time went.
fast. Time that's amazing to have that, entrepreneurial experience also creating, with baking
Mhm.
and throwing your own party, DJing on the radio, doing private events as well. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years as far as taking the DJing to another level internationally, or owning your own business?
Dude,
Where
that's a
is DJ
good,
Anthony
good
Vincent gonna be?
question. Right now, I don't know, man. I'm kinda just seeing where the opportunities take me. I'm just kinda
You're floating.
yes, yes, but with, like, good energy and, like, being prepared for anything, right? In a good way. I'm not just out here like, "Oh, we'll just see what happens." No, it's not that at all. Like, it's more like, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever comes. I'm ready for any opportunity that comes. I'm also ready to shut doors behind me if I have to. What I want in life is just to be settled and to be able to provide for myself and my people, and wherever that is where I'm gonna be. Um, just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, I think your spirit of knowing these past 2 years and hearing your story really connects with just being a free spirit, but when preparation meets opportunity. Like,
Mhm,
you've been lucky, right? But not because you weren't prepared. You did the
mhm,
work and aligned yourself with the skill set and the knowledge to be aligned with what your vision was of who you want to be and what you want to
mhm.
be doing in your life. And I think that sometimes people get caught up too much in like a goal and striving and trying so hard and stressing themselves out that they
I definitely do that. It's different. I know what you're trying to say. It's different. because sometimes you want something so bad, but it's not supposed to happen for you right now.
Right.
That might be 2 or 3 doors in the future that you gotta get through before you get through that door.
Right. And you have to fail.
So,
You have to
yeah,
fail
you do.
repeatedly,
Cool. Mhm.
when doors that don't lead anywhere or to just to the next room. And I think
Yeah.
that is part of the learning process, which I've really gotten into perspective, especially living here in a slowed down environment. It's really giving me more of that perception of building my patience because in LA, or I'm
You
sure
s
I was in
you
Sacktown. I'm
yeah.
in town, I'm booked every day, every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like moving around. Here, you just kind of gotta slow down, be prepared, make a plan, and and move your way with connections and put the puzzle pieces together slowly,
Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely learned a lot more patience being here.
And I think
And
that
it's a good thing.
is the lesson,
Yeah,
and
it
it's the
is.
same for me. I lived here 8 years and have had to, learn the system and trust the process of playing different spots, but like meeting the right people at those spots
Mhm.
to eventually reconnect later at somewhere else through opportunities. It's like
Mhm.
the bartender here is now the manager at this winery, to where that's an in now to play at their winery because someone you worked with 2 years ago now runs the spot. I think that's kind of like
Mhm.
the way the industry works in general,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
which, in time, you made a lot of good impact on people, not only their skill set, but also your personality and your support that you give, you
Thank you,
know,
man.
and in order to get, you got to give without expecting
Mhm.
anything back. And
Mhm.
that's one of the main things I appreciate about you. And, I'm a pretty genuine guy, and I don't, I pick and choose very selectively who I fuck with.
Mhm. Yes.
And you kind of have to do that in general in life, but especially in our industry, which is it is just fickle like that.
Mhm.
It's entertainment, so people are desperate for achievement without respect for the people around them, of co-signing or putting people on. People are afraid of other people's shine because it might dim their light.
Yeah, there's a lot of that here, man.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
there's a lot of that everywhere, but it's like feels like it's, exacerbated here because
well,
of
here
the
I think
limit.
here is partly because
It's
there's a
too
lack.
it's not enough.
Yeah, is there's
It's
not
not
enough
enough.
for everybody.
Mhm.
There's not enough opportunities for everyone to shine, is their mindset. What I liked about you is that you created opportunities, by creating your own
Mhm.
brand and risking inviting people out, risking failure to create something that was genuine. And that goes a lot further than just chasing gigs, I think.
Yeah, and another thing, like, that's kind of related to that is there's a lot of good people here, and there are generally good people that are trying to DJ, and they just don't have a mentor.
Yeah.
And not to say like I'm the best mentor ever, but I like those shoes. Like I like to fill those shoes. Like I want to be somebody's mentor. I've always kind of wanted that to happen, but I want it to happen organically. And here I found a couple people that are just like they are really genuinely want to learn. And it's been a blessing too to actually to try to do that for them and to be that big brother because I had those. Like I got
Yeah.
to have those.
Oh, well, we all the great ones do. Like how you have to iron sharpens iron. Every sensei has a student,
Hmm.
that they pass on the torch and the
Hmm.
legacy of the passion, and I've talked to us before, but everybody needs somebody or multiple people to guide them in the right direction, in
Hmm.
whatever path they want to be on. Take advice and be able to pick somebody's brain who's accomplished goals that you strive to.
Yeah.
But today's day and age, ego gets involved and people don't want to ask for help or think they know it all because they watched the video. Um,
Yeah, there's some of that going on, but the ones that are like legit will call me and ask me like, "Hey, what should I practice? Like, what should I do? How do I get better?"
yeah,
Or come over, like, show me this, show me this. Like, how do I mix on vinyl? I want to mix on vinyl. I want to learn that. Even if they'll never use that skill, they want to know that skill.
yeah,
And I appreciate those guys for actually wanting to actually learn how to really be a DJ and not just be on a stage
right,
and
right.
play songs. It's different. It's two different things.
For sure. And that goes towards longevity as well. You know, when you have a passion for it, you're willing to go through the struggle in order to have that glory at the end of the day, if you want to call it that, of performing music for people.
And it's like respecting the stage, man. Because I mean, I've told you about it. Somebody we both know that you were trying to mentor, and when you disrespect the stage, man, there should be consequences, and there should be like, hey, like not just consequences, but like you should take like you should know what you're doing and respect what you're doing and know that it is a sacred space to be on a stage no matter where you're at and who's in front of you. You need to perform and be at a high level at all times and
Yeah.
just kind of want that for yourself. And when you see that's not happening, it's very disappointing.
Yeah. And not every student gets a black belt and joins martial arts. Not every
No,
football player, not every football player makes it to varsity, after their freshman year. Not everybody finishes at the top level. They dip in, see what it takes, aren't committed to the struggle, and dip out. And I think that
yeah,
with everything, and with art, it's even more detrimental because, like we talked about, it is
hmm,
exposing your vulnerability, your passion for
hmm,
music, what you like, what you're about, the message you're trying to portray, how you're trying to make people feel.
hmm.
Um, I'm gonna do a lightning round real quick. I
All
wanted,
right, let's do it.
yeah. So, well, not too lightning. I want your top 5 DJs that your top 5 with, like MCs. You got DJs that influence you or your favorite. I don't care politics, any of that shit. Just your personal favorite top 5 DJs.
Top five DJ, dude. That's tough, man. That's
I
tough. But
know,
I feel
I
like
know. That's why I asked the tough questions. You
the
from the
number
booth.
one influential DJ. I don't know him. I've never met him. Never actually got to see him play live. But just what he did for DJs in general and the amount of money we were able to make now or were able to make at that time compared to like before is AM. Dude, like AM opened the door for us to like if we get to that level, we could drive Lambos. And before him, like that was not a thing
Yeah,
at all. So AM is number one. DJs in that I know personally that have like open doors for me are like probably the next ones. Like my buddy Danny, DJ DM, he's helped me out so much. My buddy Mofo, he's out in Reno now. We did radio together. He's opened doors for me and just like seeing how he moves as a person and as a dad now and just the things he's built out in Reno is kind of what inspired me out here too. I probably never even told him this, so hopefully he watches this.
send them the link.
Nah, for sure. My big brother Shorty, like same thing. Like he's not a DJ, but he's influenced so much music and people like ride and die for him for what he does. The big brother of them all, you know this guy too, is Bice, bro. Like
Yeah,
I remember him putting his arm around me and me and him having like the biggest heart to heart I've ever had with any man in my life ever at Cream of Beat in San Francisco. That conversation I will not share here, but it was, there was tears shed and it was in the middle of a club with people around us. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget that conversation and what he said to me and what he did for me at that time in my life. So he's definitely another person that's there. And that's my top five. And I could probably go on for,
no, that's
I could
dope.
have
I
like a
love.
top 20, but
Yeah, no, but I love
that's it.
the weight of the impact is how you rated. I love that. People that, that's giving back to the ones that
Oof.
actually helped you. Because anybody can inspire you, but who actually helped you on your journey
Mhm,
is how you rated that. And I love that. AM, I got to see live a lot.
mhm.
On my come up, and it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
It just being able to go everywhere the way he did and make it fun, and the type of people that were at that party, which he attracted through the music, were like actual real music lovers, not scene chasers.
Mhm.
People, nobody was standing in front of his booth recording him the whole time.
No.
People were out fucking partying. It was like a great party experience. And just a chill dude, like just a dude having these type of conversations.
Yeah, 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 that's
You
what it
know,
seemed like. I mean, I never got to meet him, but that's what it seemed like.
yeah, just
Like,
love
everybody that's
music.
been around him
Every
just like
every every genre of anything, he'll find something in it
dude, you know
to
what's
love.
crazy that you bring that up? So, like, me growing up, especially, like, in middle school, I liked everything from hip hop to rock to, like, old school. any genre house, like especially at that time, like everything. I really legitimately liked everything. But I felt like I was the only person like that, like in the whole
Yeah.
school. Nobody else like, no, I only listen to rock, or I only listen to hip hop. I only listen to this. Like nobody else had that mind. Was that like that for you? Like
Yeah,
growing up too?
I was open format because, well, my music came from my mom, right? Who was like 80s pop. She loved Michael, Prince, especially. Madonna was always rocking in my house.
Hmm.
Paula Abdul, that whole pop era. Mariah Carey, oh God, all day, early 90s and late 80s. And then my dad was like a disco guy. So Earth, Wind, and Fire was huge. Lionel Richie. And then also when I started DJing, my wife, her parents, her dad, so disco, all the brass construction, Cool in the Gang, and then
Hmm.
all the Spanish stuff that was in the house, right? And then I had a stepdad that my mom remarried, which was totally into 70s, 80s, and 90s rock. So I learned like Led Zeppelin, Rush, AC/DC. So I had this like, I just knew all the music, right? I knew how to affect every section of my high school with the programming of music.
Uh-huh.
You got the darkies, the metal kids, you got the Rasta kids, you got the smokers, you got the hip hoppers, you got the pop girls, and yeah, that's how I was raised, and that was a great advantage for me. And also, I started rocking family parties, you know,
Hmm.
and high school parties. So I was open format from day one. When I moved to LA, really made me tap into my rock and 80s because in Hollywood,
Yeah,
80s was banging in the early 2000s. All the top Hollywood parties were all 80s. So
that's crazy.
I had to backtrack and go get all these 80s records and reprints in
Hmm.
order to keep up with the Hollywood scene because I was doing the clubs pretty early on. So that was my come up with the open format, which was a blessing, you know,
Hmm.
because it just keeps you available, you know.
Hmm.
I'm still
No,
I'm still collecting. I'm trying to learn a banda and shit like ranchero and like there's so much more to collect. It's like
no, it's never ending.
it's
It's
it
never
is
gonna stop.
infinite.
You know how many times like I've I've been on the phone and I'm like, I gotta with somebody and I'm like, okay, I gotta go through music or I gotta organize. And they're like, didn't you just do that like a couple days ago? I'm like, yeah, it's something that you can never stop. Like you never ever stop. And you're always creating different crates, creating different folders, different like ways of playing. Like if you look at my Serato, it's like, how do I want to play today? Kind of like, do I want to play like this or like this or like this? And then I have that broke down into like how I play those genres. And then I could play them all together too. And then I have them broken down by venue. So if it's very specific at a venue, then it's even broken down even more.
But yeah, I'm the same way. I got vibes, right? Like where am I, right? I got vibes, I got demographic,
Hey,
like
I've seen your demo crates. Like, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I got
Uh-huh.
and then I got like times, and I have other dates at other spots. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like this vibe. So let me dip into this crate.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just being able to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And every DJ has their own mindset, and I spoke about this recently, like, during my downtime after having so many years of residencies, to really go through your crates and spend and dedicate some hours lining things up, cleaning things up. Organization has improved my DJing tenfold. I thought I was dope rocking these clubs drunk and, like, kill it, like, the crowd's going off, but, like, there's so much more music to play and so many more places to go
Yeah.
that
If you're organized, you know
if
where
you're
things are.
organized, you can
Yeah.
take it to a whole nother level. Because if you get a
Hmm.
little uncomfortable, you can always go back to where you're
Yeah.
comfortable, and then take them,
Yeah.
stretch them again, and then bring them back because you know where you're
Dude,
going instead of being
there's two local guys that I'm not going to mention any names. There's two local guys that were just like jump on the decks real quick, and I was like, all right. And instantly looked at their Serato crates, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, how do you even play at all? Because like it's just so random, like, and things are so everywhere, and it gives me anxiety. I mean, that's why I'm so organized. Like, if you know me, like I know like everything I have is super organized. Like I know every little piece of equipment, every little cable, every little anything on everything I do is really, really organized, including my Serato. And so when I saw that, it's just like, I'm sorry, dude. Like I can't play. Like I can't do it.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's
It just
that
like
comes
my
from
mind just like woo, it just goes everywhere.
yeah, but that
One
comes
other time
from
I tried and I'm just like, okay, where BPM are we at? What songs do I know at this BPM? And I'm just
where
gonna
is
play those.
everything?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I don't know how people survive like that, but they do.
Well, that comes from your training as far as like what crates look like. You know how to get through crates and you learn from a lineage that trained you like
From
Mr.
a physical
Miyagi,
crate.
right? That trained you like Mr. Miyagi, trained you without knowing you were getting trained.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And a lot of these kids are just in the wild. A lot of these kids and grown men that decide they want to DJ all of a sudden are just in the wild, wild west of shit slaying everywhere.
To like imagine like this is how it is in my brain, right? If I walk up to somebody's Serato and that shit's everywhere, it's like if it was back in the day and it was vinyl, and there's literally you go into somebody's garage and every record is just thrown everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how it makes me feel. That literally how it makes me feel, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't.
yeah. Because
I don't know how you can.
then you got to rack your brain and like type in for songs that you're thinking of. Like you got to go back to a bass set that
Yeah,
works, and then they
yeah,
got some bullshit remix in there.
yeah. Or no intros, or like a bad corrupted file.
Or just a beat ass redrum that sounds corny as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
Well, it's just they don't know. It's just
Yeah,
ignorance.
it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them. It's not their
Yeah,
fault.
no. And that's the thing. Like
So
I
it
used to
ended
be
up becoming a conversation. Like, hey, like let's help you here.
yeah, and that's what I've learned over the years. I used to be a real like fiery, if you can't tell. I used to be a real fiery, like, fuck that, what are you doing? Like,
Hmm.
and I would take it personal
Yeah,
because I put in so much work and so much effort to be good, and you're just out here disrespecting the work,
yeah,
and charging nothing and, and letting these people down basically. But what I found is later in life, obviously, is just it's not anything to do with me. It's they just don't know.
yes, I don't know.
And that feeling inside of me, instead of like being angry, is needs to be more compassionate and figure out a nice way to help them and tell them if they're open to it.
Yes,
And that's what this
exactly.
show and that's what this show is subliminally all about.
I'm trying to help you guys out.
Message, message,
Yeah, please
straight
do
from the
better.
booth. Getting a Pee Wee Herman word of the day.
Clip that. That's it right there.
What's going down, man? Well, shit, Mr. Anthony Vincent. You talked about some dates you got coming up in Sacramento. Let the people know where you're going to be, what socials they can get a hold of you of. Let them know your Mixcloud, which stays updated. I know you got fresh mixes popping all the time. Let them know your airtime. Let's go. Promo
All right,
time.
so let's go. Energy 102. Download the app. You'll hear me on there on Fridays at noon and at 7 p.m. Let's see, dates coming up. October 4th. I'll be at Bailey's. It's a Saturday. I'll be at Bailey's in Old Town here in Temecula. And then the next Saturday, I'll be at Bailey's again for Vibe and Thrive for the day party.
What time?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then right after that, I'm flying out to Denver. I don't remember my dates there for each spot, but there's 2 spots out there. Check them out. They'll be posted on my social media, which is DJ Anthony Vincent, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Everything's DJ Anthony Vincent, easy to find. But yeah, I'll be out in Denver, and then I'll be out in Mexico, and then I come back here for a little bit in Temecula. Don't have specific dates for that, but then I'll be out in SAC early December, December 6th. I'll be back out in SAC.
You'll be in Irvine
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. What is that? Next Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. What's
Solo
that spot called
Cocina.
again? Yeah,
Solo
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cocina.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Prophet for hooking that gig up. I can't wait for that. Thank you, man.
Well, man,
Too much
thank
stuff going
you.
on.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you're vibing. I'm glad you're thriving.
Thank you, man.
It's a pleasure of mine to help you and be with you on this journey of success. I know what it takes. I know the struggle, right? And what I do for you, I would just do what somebody do for me, and you do for somebody as you're doing mentoring and helping the DJ community get better,
Mm-hmm.
be more
Mm-hmm.
prepared, and take up their standards a notch.
Yeah, let's raise that bar.
Yeah, gotta always be raising the bar. Iron sharpens
Mm-hmm.
iron. That's why I fuck with you, and
Thank you, man.
I thank you for being on the Truth from the Booth. Anytime, brother. you know?
Yeah, thank you for having me, dude. I
Of course,
appreciate you a lot, dude.
of course, of
You're
course.
one of the first guys I ever met out here, and you always been cool with me. So
Hey, it is what it is. Much love. Thank you for joining us on Truth in the Booth. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and follow my guy, DJ Anthony Vincent, on all his social media outlets, as well as his Mixcloud. And check him out on Energy 102 every weekend. He's in the mix. And yes, keep on subscribing, keep on striving, keep on vibing, keep on thriving. This is the Truth from the Booth. I'm DJ Prophet. That's DJ Anthony Vincent. And we will catch you next time. Time, same channel. Bam, bam, bam. Truth from the Booth. Do it. All right, don't hang up.